Hello, and welcome to this HelloID Service Automation product release video for March 2022. HelloID Service Automation is a user management self-service solution designed to delegate user management into the organization. For example, delegate group management, delegate distribution group management, delegate share management. It will help ICT departments to prevent accumulation of licenses and access rights. Please note that in this video, we will only show the new functionality for the March 2022 release. Please go to docs.helloid.com or our YouTube channel for more videos. Let's get started. In this video, we'd like to start with a PowerPoint presentation and then demo the new functionalities for the March 2022 release. We have 4 new features in this release, and 1 announcement of deprecation. The first new feature is the Add Copy to Clipboard for dynamic form results. With this new feature, you can copy your dynamic form results and use this data as input to test the new Delegated Form Task. Our second new feature is the ability to disable Approve/Deny buttons in the approval emails. If this configuration option is enabled, the default Approve emails do not contain the 3 buttons, Approve, Deny, and Go to Request, but will only contain the button to go to the request. The Approve and Deny buttons are removed. The third item on the list is the enhancement of an already existing feature to create a HelloID incident when the service automation agent is offline. With this new feature, we have added the HelloID agent server name to the incident for more information when troubleshooting. Our final new feature is a big one. We have added delegated form process logging to the executing task using the service automation agent infrastructure. With this new feature, you can use PowerShell default syntax to write information, warning, or error messages back to HelloID. In this release, we will also enable the service automation agent to be used for new delegated form tasks. This feature has been behind the feature flag for a while, but will now be released for everyone. Please note that existing delegated form tasks do still work and will use the directory agent just like they always have. In this release, we will also deprecate the HelloBI reports. You can use the default reports or create your own custom reports within Elastic Reporting for reporting purposes. We will now demonstrate the new features. Let's first demonstrate the update we have done to the HelloID incident when the service automation agent is offline. We have opened the HelloID Administrator dashboard, and we will navigate to the incidents. We have also stopped our service automation agent and have triggered a HelloID incident. As you can see, the incident title does contain a server name of the HelloID agent, which makes it much easier to locate the corresponding server and troubleshoot the incident. Let's navigate to Self-Service and Approval Workflows for our second new feature. To demonstrate this new feature, we will edit an approval workflow. We have added this new configuration option, Hide Email Approve Buttons. By default, this new option is disabled, which results in the same behavior as before. An approval email with buttons for Approve, Deny, and Go to the Request. If you enable this new feature, the Approve and Deny buttons are no longer visible in the approval email, and only the Go to the Request button will be available. We will now navigate to Delegation and Delegated Forms to show you our remaining new features. We have prepared a simple delegated form called Release Demo 2022.03. Let's edit this delegated form and go to the form definition itself. We have created a simple dynamic form containing a text input, a drop-down, and a multi-select. We will switch to Editor to enter some data and see the form results. We will enter the value cars in the text input, and we will select option 1 in the drop-down. And for the multi-select, we will select Apple and Pear. Click on the button next to Go to the Summary page, and we click on the Request button to generate the form results. Here you can see the results of this form, and you can also expand the multi-select to see which values we have selected in multi-select. In the form results, we have added a new button to copy the form results into your clipboard. This form result data can be used while configuring the new Delegated Form Task. Let's navigate to the Delegated Form Task to see the final new feature of this release. When configuring a new Delegated Form Task, you will automatically get this new task configuration screen, which looks the same as the PowerShell data source configuration screen. On the left side, you can enter your PowerShell script, and on the right side, you can choose to run this script on our cloud agent or use one of your local HelloID agent pools. For now, we will choose to run this script on our cloud agent. We also have a button to execute the PowerShell script directly, as well as 3 different tabs for input, received data, and received logs. In the Input tab, you can enter the dynamic form results to test your PowerShell script without actually submitting the delegated form itself. You're basically simulating the form result output. Remember that we have copied the dynamic form results to our clipboard. We can simply paste the clipboard data in this window and use it to test the PowerShell script. Let's click on Execute PowerShell to see the results. We can navigate to the received logs to check and confirm the information messages sent from the PowerShell script to HelloID. We have information messages with the values cars, apple, and pear, and this is exactly what we were expecting based on our example PowerShell script. Using this new configuration screen and service automation agent, there is no need for additional mapping for the form result data. All the form result data is directly available in the PowerShell script using the form variable. As you can see, on line 6, we used the native PowerShell function writeInformation that gives back the value of the text input on this form. On line 9, it will write back each selected value on the multi-select form element. On this configuration screen, the form result data is defined as a JSON input object underneath the Input tab. Here, you can edit JSON to test various scenarios and configure your PowerShell script accordingly. To see the result of the PowerShell script and log messages in real life, we have to switch to the Service Desk page. But before doing that, let's force an error on purpose by sending back an error message with the text, "This went wrong." Let's click on Save to save this script, and we can navigate to the Service Desk page. We have opened the Service Desk page and have selected the Form Release Demo 2022.03. We will enter the value HelloID as text input. We will select option 2 from the drop-down, and in the multi-select, we will select banana and pear. We will click on the Next button to go to the summary page, and here we will click the Submit button to submit the delegated form with the entered and selected values. Let's switch back to the HelloID admin panel to see the results of this form submission. We have opened the HelloID admin dashboard and then navigated to Delegation and to Activities. Here you can see an overview of all the activities of the delegated forms. The top one is our recent submission of the delegated form called Release Demo 2022.03. As you can see, the form has been submitted, but the task has failed because one error has occurred. We can click on the Details button to further investigate the details. On this screen, you will see some submission information and the data source logging if any data source has been run. And here in the form submission logging, you can see that the recent run of the task has failed and that one error has occurred. We can click on Form Submission Logging to see further details of the logging. On top, you can switch between the task logging and the form data. The form data contains the information that has been entered in the form, just like in the form summary. You can see that we have entered HelloID as the text input, selected option 2 from the drop-down, and selected banana and pear in the multi-select. In the task logging, you can see who submitted the form and also what time the form was submitted. The red circle and the number 1 indicates that the execution has failed due to one error. In our PowerShell script, we have configured some messages to send back to HelloID, and you can see that the text input value HelloID has been sent back as well as the 2 items we have selected in the multi-select, banana and pear. Remember that we also configured an error message with the text, "This went wrong," which is displayed here, and that is the reason we have one error and the task has failed. Let's switch back to the PowerShell script and remove this error message. We have opened the PowerShell task of the form release demo 2022.03. On line 12, we can see the error message that we have configured with the text, "This went wrong." We will now remove this line and click on Save. Now the delegated form task has been updated, and the next time it should run successfully. So we can either open the delegated form again from the Service Desk page and enter all details again, or we can switch back to the Activities screen and retry the task. Let's do the second option. We have updated the PowerShell script of this delegated form, and we have removed the error message. Now we can use this Retry button to retry the task using the current PowerShell script, but it will also still use the form data that has been entered in the initial submission. Let's click on the Retry button to retry the task. As you can see, the retry task has started, so we have to wait a little while before this gets refreshed. We'll refresh the page, and as you can see, this form has now been submitted. It was successful, and there were no errors. If we click on the activity and go to the submission logging, here you can see that the task has been retried by the same user on this timestamp, and there are still 3 information messages, but the error message has gone, so that indicates that this run was successful. And because it is successful, the retry button is disabled for this activity. This means you cannot retry this task anymore because the last task was successful. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know if you have any additional questions. You can post your question in YouTube or send it to isupport@toolsforever.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive frequent updates about improvements and changes in HelloID. Have a wonderful day.